guys. I'm just here to have a quick chat with you before Thanksgiving tomorrow. You won't be seeing me tomorrow and maybe Friday as well. So I just stopped by to have a little chit chat. If you are watching this live on this channel for the first time, welcome. Please subscribe. Returning subscribers, welcome back. So, what are we here about tonight? You know that press conference that was held yesterday by the PNP, the opposition party? I'm here to tell you guys that it backfired, and I'm going to show you why. Also, I'm sure that you guys heard by now what is going on over there in St. Vincent. The entire dancehall fraternity is in St. Vincent. But how will this work for the candidates? Let us have a chat and talk about it. Welcome, moderator. Good night. You're here. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. All right. Well, as you know, yesterday, the opposition PNP had a press conference where they were basically telling the country and telling everybody that the government is not handling the recovery part of the disaster with any efficiency. They were saying that, the process is going by so slow and everything like that. Well, guys, today it was published locally in Jamaica and also internationally, where the people in Cuba, they are still in the dark. They have no water. The hurricane mash up Cuba, right? So when we look at the pace at which things are flowing in Jamaica compared to Cuba, we can clearly see nobody now have to tell we, even though people have been telling us, but nobody now have to tell we say Jamaica is handling the hurricane recovery very extremely well. I think it was the Associated Press that I saw it in earlier about what they had to say about Cuba and what is happening over there. Now, let me show you guys. Over there in Cuba, you know that Hurricane Melissa hit Cuba at a category 3. So Cuba didn't get as bad an impact as we did in Jamaica. Melissa hit Jamaica at a category 5. So to see that Cuba is still suffering so much, according to the Associated Press, it says thousands of Cubans are struggling without power and water for nearly a month, one whole month after Melissa, right? So in Jamaica, I found some data today and I checked with a friend of mine who, who's involved with the recovery. And I was told that 85% of Jamaicans are reconnected to electricity, and about 76% of people have had their water restored. Okay? We are just around 3 weeks after Hurricane Melissa. And as we can see, a lot of our roadways are clear. Some debris have been removed. So, yeah, we are doing very well for a country that's been hit with a category 5. And you see what is happening in Cuba, you know, thousands without power and water for nearly 1 month. Yeah, that's what everybody is reporting. And that's according to the Associated Press. That's according to Wyon News on YouTube. That is according to the Jamaica Gleaner. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. They're marking the time, 1 month. So really and truly, when people come to Jamaica and say, hey, you guys are handling this very well, I guess we are. And it's good that we have somebody to compare to, you know, our neighboring country of Cuba. So there's always the negative aspects of the aftermath of a hurricane. It's been reported that the leptospirosis is on the rise. More people are turning up with it, and people are predicting that there will be more deaths. We don't want to hear that. That's never a good thing. But as we know, we've been hit by a Category 5 hurricane, so a lot of these things. All right, moderator, I'm glad you're here. I realize that we have some trolls. We've had some trolls over here the past week or something. And if you could just pay attention. And when you say, oh, it's a wife style here. Let me put, guys, wife style is gonna be our second moderator. So there she is. Thank you, wife style, for stepping up and being a good patriot. Anyway, the other thing I want to talk about before I go, over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, guys, the entire dancehall fraternity is over there. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I just saw it last night. Well, there's going to be an election tomorrow. The people of St. Vincent are going to vote for their next prime minister. The incumbent is asking for a sixth term. And I don't understand, like, Ralph is 78 or 79 years old. And while the people may want another term of his party, I just don't understand why Ralph couldn't turn over the thing to somebody else in his party. At 78, 79 years old, I don't know. That not really, but me not know, right? So the guy he's running against is Dr. Friday. And Dr. Friday had a pretty good turnout. They both had a rally yesterday, and they both had a pretty good turnout. But of course, campaign rallies don't win elections. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But the interesting part of this, guys, is when I see the entire dancehall fraternity over there, Vibes Cartel is there, Popcorn is there, Shensia is there, Massacre is there, all of the big names in dancehall over there. I may say, okay, it's not like just one party, one political party hired these dancehall people to come perform at their rally. Okay? It's both parties because Shensia and even Rhoda Crawford, they were with the opposition, and Vibes Cartel and Popcorn and Massacre them, I think, them over the incumbent side. So I'm saying no. In Jamaica, we had the biggest names in reggae and dancehall backing the People's National Party. And they were not able to convince our Jamaicans to put back the PNP, to put the PNP in power. This is the PNP's third consecutive loss. So I am wondering now if the party leaders in St. Vincent, if they, clearly when you have entertainers come perform at your campaign rally, they have influence, and you bring them because you want that influence to persuade people to support and vote for you, right? But may I wonder if the party leader them and the parties them in a St. Vincent, if them did a look over in a Jamaica and see say, people like Cartel did a bat for the PNP, Shensia never really did really out there like that, but you had Bojo, you had Shaggy, you had Movado, who publicly convinced the people them say vote PNP, and the people them were not persuaded. So I don't know how them feel about that, or how much it will help one or the other, if at all. You know what I'm saying? So boy, Me no know, me I say, why? You know, St. Vincent, them just take up the whole of dancehall gone over there, so. Me say, hey, me no know what me that do if me wasn't a Jamaican. Like, Jamaica is so festive. Even in a disaster, people still want a little piece of the action. Same way, no matter what go on. You know, and I think it's cute, you know. Um, Great job. Cuba needs help. Yeah, Cuba needs help. Clara said Ralph is on his last hurrah. So you think Ralph is gonna pull it off a sixth time? Why am they long? 6 terms. But me not say nothing because I know Andrew Holness will not be there 6 terms, okay? Andrew might stay there like a fourth term because he's young enough. But the JLP could be there 6 terms consecutively. We could very well see that in our country. But I know that Andrew Holness, if he's there a fourth term and he stays a fourth term, he's going to pass the mantle on to the next person. It's a very interesting political dynamic going on, not just in Jamaica, but, you know, in the Caribbean region. As far as Ralph goes, boy, the people them seem energetic. You know, the people them in them camp, the people them who were at the rally, they seem upbeat and everything, but his opponent also very much upbeat, energetic. You know, he was saying some stuff about policies and making the comparisons, and I don't know, we'll see what happens, but it will be interesting. Um, so Vinci political party even remix PNP and JLP campaign songs and use it in their campaign. For real? I didn't see it, but that's interesting. But feel like the St. Vincent just a follow Jamaica, so. Then just a follow Jamaica. Hey, you know, say a whole heap of people it out there silently a follow Jamaica politics. Yeah, man, whole heap of people it out there a look. Your live has more viewers than PNP press conference. Lord Jesus. Talking about PNP press conference. It backfired. I don't know how the PNP can continue arguing with the government about the pace of the recovery after what the world is now saying about Cuba and what Jamaica's media is also saying about Cuba. I mean, thousands of people still out of power and still out of water 1 month after the hurricane. Jamaica is doing all right, and that's just the truth. What is my lipstick? Allah Jesus, me not remember I want purple something from MAC. When I remember the name, I will drop it in the chat, Valentina. Sorry. Backfired big time. Yeah, man, backfire. Me no know where they come out and say the government, the pace at which the recovery is happening is not fast enough. You cannot go any faster than Jamaica is going right now. I tell you no. I've been through, tell you no all well, I've been through several hurricanes. So the pace at which Jamaica is going now, it a go on all right. You know? Unfortunately, some people on the ground, especially those who lost their homes and stuff like that, maybe they don't think so, you know, because when you're in a situation where you're facing loss, you're facing, you know, all the things that comes with a disastrous hurricane, you may view things different, but in the grand scheme of things, where the recovery is concerned, I would say Jamaica is doing well. We don't want to see them doing no worse, obviously. And in addition to having our electricity restored to, the last I heard was 85% from JPS. 85%. That's the last I heard. Thank you, Frank. But to have it 85% restored and to see that our government is still not comfortable with that, because you see, Daryl Vaz is saying, listen, we're going to lend JPS the money and make them restore the people in power faster. You know, that says something. That says that the government of the day, they are doing everything that they humanely can to make sure that Jamaicans get the basics of life back as soon as possible, which is them light and them water, right? Now, after the parliamentary proceeding yesterday, the PNP is still at it about JPS and the money that the government will loan them. And their talking point is, if we as a government are lending JPS $150 million, and it's reported that they need $350 million to do what they need to do efficiently, where will they get the next 200 million from? That is the talking point of the government. Sorry, of the opposition. So they're saying, I wouldn't approve the 150 million from the government to lend to JPS. I would ask them where you're going to get the 200 million from. Now, of course, that's JPS's prerogative, because no matter where them decide to do with them 200 million, the money where the government have to lend them can either take it or they can say, listen, we don't have the rest of the money, so if you give it the 150 million, it not going to make a difference. They're not saying that. They're saying that they are going to accept it, and of course they have to pay back the government, right? So JPS is just gonna have to do what they do, and make sure so the people them get back them power and pay back the government them money. When you hear them money, they breed and money and lend people. It's kind of a big deal, especially when it's being loaned by government, right? So I guess, now is the time for transparency. And I don't know if it's appropriate for JPS, though, to come out and have any dialogue with the opposition about their finances and things like that. I don't know. But I know that the minister, Daryl Vaz, he seems confident in the cabinet's decision to loan JPS this $150 million. All right, so we'll see how it goes. My hope is that JPS will restore the people in power as soon as possible, because some of our subscribers over here are affected too. I've heard from a few subscribers privately where they say, listen, we haven't been on, we haven't been able to tune in, but we're there, and as soon as we get back up power and with internet and so, we will come back. But we've had people that, in Western Jamaica, that, they have no access and stuff like that. So I want everybody to up and running again. Good night, Trisha. I don't have no skincare routine, darling. I don't have none. I just use soap and water. The faster people get back on, JPS will be able to earn. Yes, that's true. Can you imagine Jamaica government in the position to lend money? Can I tell you? And that the amount of money there. So, I mean, let me tell you now. What the PNP are doing now, the PNP, them are watching money. Me tell you from the very beginning, from the very beginning, days before the hurricane, I saw the PNP's posture. They weren't showing any grave concern for the people of Jamaica or for their constituents, as much as they were watching the money. Them only watch the money because they know, say Jamaica have the money. Them know, say the insurance payout them a come. All them are just the money and some monitoring spirit them. I watch out the money. You understand? Like I said, guys, whatever the challenges are that will come with this hurricane disaster, whatever they are, I am prepared to deal with it as a Jamaican community, Jamaican family, I am prepared mentally and otherwise to see it through with Jamaica, because I know that the government of the day, they have been there 9 years. They have saw the country through flood, hurricane, pandemic, and we're still standing. So I have all the confidence in this government that we're going to be fine. You know, today it was reported that Dunn's River is back open again. Um, they had a new project going on down there and it's complete, and they're promoting, of course, they're promoting tourism again and telling everybody, listen, we're open for business, come on in. So that's good. And as I told you guys yesterday, the first tourist ship came into Ocho Rios. A full ship came in, and we're resilient and we are going to be fine. I noticed that yesterday the Prime Minister basically, as I told you in our video upload, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, confronted the PNP on their disinformation, which was good. Um, and to be honest with you guys, I feel sorry for the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister come to the Parliament to give the country information, updates, and to answer to the opposition and answer to the people of Jamaica. And to hear the Prime Minister standing there defending the country and defending himself against disinformation, the time that it took to do that, um, me feel sorry for him. I do. And I know that some things, you have to say it in the Parliament, because even if the JLP had a powerful communication machinery out here pushing back on the disinformation, the Prime Minister would still have to go to the Parliament and dispel some of the disinformation, because it's a problem, right? And it must be said and be on the record in the Parliament. But I do feel sorry for him, and I am frankly disgusted with the PNP that they have brought our politics to this place, where the PNP's new doctrine over the last 5 years is one of disinformation. And for any political party to stoop that low, to resort to that kind of politics, it is pathetic, it is unpatriotic, it is so many adjectives that, this is why I keep saying that the fourth term is loading. The fourth term must load, yeah? Because the Jamaican people were presented on September 3rd with a disinformation doctrine from the PNP and a government that ran on policies. And the Jamaican people chose the government and rejected the PNP and their disinformation doctrine. You see, the PNP had a chance to kind of remove this perception over them that they're running on disinformation, or they have this disinformation doctrine going on, by coming out publicly and saying to their supporters and to the country and to the world that we are in this fight with Jamaica against disinformation. We do not promote it. We do not endorse it. We don't want to be a part of it. And we don't want anybody who support us to be out there spreading disinformation. You see, if the PNP had done that, maybe, just maybe, people would be a little more sympathetic toward them and a little more nicer to them. But they have not, and they will not come out and say that they're against disinformation. And they know that it's a problem, because that is their doctrine, right? So the Prime Minister, as a matter of fact, I should let you guys hear some of it. I do not have any beauty secrets. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I had beauty secrets, I would have a beauty channel. I don't have none. I promise you. All right. Also, I want to say this publicly, and I hope this gets back to the Prime Minister. I am so proud of you, Prime Minister, for how you explained to the people that may not be as informed on geopolitics, on, you know, domestic politics, on history, on governance and government. I am so proud of you, Prime Minister, for how you explain to the opposition and explain to the country about the significance of Jamaica being present in South Africa at the G20. I was so proud when I heard you explain it and report it to the country, what you went there to do, um, the outcome, the reaction of the people of South Africa and other countries to Jamaica, and what are the benefits, you know? As I said, if Jamaica did not go to the G20, and at this time, I would have been disappointed. But the Prime Minister said, listen, initially, we weren't going to go, but we were invited. That was a second invitation to Jamaica to go to the G20. But the Prime Minister said we weren't going to go initially. And then when we got the invitation and look at, you know, how beneficial it would be, and considering what we're facing at this time, it made sense to go. And we went, and, you know, this is what happened. So I don't know. I have not uploaded that portion of it. I'm going to try to put some of it on the shorts here so that you guys can see, because that parliamentary sitting was very long. It was hours. You understand? So I hope that you guys had a chance to hear that. But let me let you hear a bit of what the Prime Minister said when he confronted the PNP on disinformation. And also I'm going to let you hear a bit of what the Prime Minister said about his meeting at the G20.
There's a lot of talk about government getting money and not using it, and we have to be so careful that these kinds of careless talk. Now, for the people, Mr. Speaker, I'm about to say something, and I just want to be clear. For the people who are saying it, and gaining influence on persons who don't understand, it is dangerous, because there is a public that believes that somehow we sit here and we are trying to somehow take away money that has come for the relief of the people. Let me say this clearly, Mr. Speaker. It would be morally reprehensible for anyone to be using any government resources in any way that has been given or borrowed for relief or any other action to mitigate the damage of this hurricane for any personal or private gain. And if there is any such thing happening, I don't have to wait for any other entity to ferret it out or find it. I will find it myself. Let it be on the record, Mr. Speaker, that this is not the first disaster that this government has had to address. There was never a question about the administration of resources for Hurricane Beryl. No donor said what I gave, I don't know how it was accounted for.
All right. The Prime Minister also said that when you spread disinformation and lies on Jamaica, what you are doing are, in particular, what he's talking about here is when the lied people them are saying that the government get money and hide it or something like that. He's saying when you're saying things like that and you are encouraging people who may not be so in tune with what's going on, you are tarnishing Jamaica with a lie. And that's enough said, okay? Now let me answer this person in the chat because this is one of the talking points of the risers and the liar PNP people them. Somebody in the chat say all him a do a go around and make speech. Him do anything else? I wonder if I should answer that or if I should play the video where the Prime Minister answered that particular question in the Parliament. And you know I don't have the video on the phone here, but I am going to take the chance and I am going to go over to my other phone and try to send it to this one because I want to play this video to answer you person, you in the chat who asked that damn foolishness. I uploaded a video last week Sunday, I believe, explaining everything that the government did after the hurricane. But you know, some people, they have a phobia with the truth, you know. So the Prime Minister spoke very briefly to that very question. Give me a second, guys. Okay, I am back. Type yes in the chat if you can't hear me. Let me answer this first because you asked a very good question. So, yes, the Prime Minister go around and make speech. This right here is not going around and making speech. This is a parliamentary sitting, and that's where he's making his speech. Yes, the problem with some of you don't want the Prime Minister to come out and defend the country and defend himself against disinformation, right? And I also hear some people who support the government saying that the Prime Minister should not answer to these lies. Are you guys crazy? Uno crazy or what? Uno no know say disinformation destroy nations. Uno no know say disinformation ruins democracies and take down governments. Uno no understand how dangerous this is. If you could make a statement like that and say the Prime Minister shouldn't answer, you are mad. You crazy? He has to answer. As much as we don't want to hear him answer, we don't want to see him stress out himself and so him have to answer. And the government of the day, them have to answer to every lie that is out there. What is wrong with you now? We're living in a time of social media. The dissemination of information, it runs like wildfire. So you have to. And I like back in the day, when you have to wait for the next newspaper article to come out. No, and I saw it go a different time now. So you have to educate it and understand social media and how it impacts the world and our politics. Now, let me play the video and make this an idiot here. The idiot will come in here come and ask, say, the Prime Minister go around and make speech. What else him do? Let me tell you.
From the government, the only person that people said, I don't see nobody from the government. The only person I see is from the Lakovia police station. That is government. How you think the aid got there? You think they just swam into Jamaica? The government opened the airport. The government cleaned the road. The government escorted them. Don't talk nonsense. To ensure that all the people who you see out there who want to give aid to Jamaica, that they are able to do it. You think they come here without ensuring that there are security guarantees? Who you think gives them the security guarantees? You think the stock that they have just move automatically, just materialize where they are? How many convoys is it moving with the security forces carrying them through? Don't talk nonsense about there was no government presence.
I want to move from your son, Lord, the government. Leave the government. Hey, I will custom like that out here, you know. All who know, you know. Only no ramp with tranquility, you know. Now come over here so with it. Who don't know say the people them what play the biggest role in all of this is the government of the day. And them play the biggest role. And them play roles that nobody else can. No matter how big your money is, and no matter how you say you're doing and you're this and that, the role that the government and the Prime Minister and his cabinet are play, nobody else can play that role. So no shut on them out. Go pick up a book and read something and get to understand what go on here so. You hear I telling you? And when I done, I'm going to post this on my page. Because someone want to know what time, what clock I strike. Nonsense. How dare you? Some of these people, they're talking as if we don't have no government. We don't have no prime minister. Everybody just sit down and look so. No. What is wrong with people? I know what is no problem, you know. We don't want to reverse September 3rd. We don't want to reverse it. And it cannot happen. There's no way it's going to happen. Let me just let you guys hear a little bit of the Prime Minister's explanation to the Parliament and to country about his trip, Jamaica's trip to South Africa.
I overheard saying, when God South Africa, he should be here marshalling the recovery. And I shake my head. I shake my head. And the reason why that I understand how our electorate and how even some of our intellectuals will think about it. And we didn't take the decision of going lightly. In fact, Mr. Speaker, up until a couple of days before, the decision was that I would not be going. But we discussed it and we debated it, and the offer was even extended for us to attend. And we decided that, given that that was the case, we attended. You have to get out there in the international community. You have to bring your case to the world leaders. You have to ensure that the international capital markets see that you're not going to only rely on their resources, that you can also have even greater support from the international financial institutions. And that.
Andrea, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. So this was a good speech. If you guys are on TikTok, JPU is also on TikTok, but not doing live and stuff. Just, you know, posting these important videos, right? So you can watch the whole thing over there. But the Prime Minister pretty much explained, you know, the benefits of Jamaica's trip. I mean, which Prime Minister, JLP or PNP in this time would have declined going to South Africa to the G20, where you know, the highlight is climate change and having faced this disaster and everything else. It just makes sense to go. Me not care what happened in a Jamaica. Me not care if the sky did fall down on Jamaica. It just made sense to be there. And the world had a chance to see Jamaica, hear Jamaica, and see our resilience in our Prime Minister and his delegation there. Right? We never have a Prime Minister who went there whining and complaining. You understand? And that's one of the things I noticed about when I tuned in to what Jamaica said at the G20. You know, the Prime Minister carried himself like a man, a real man in his skin. Him never go there go ball to nobody. Him never go there whine and complain about nothing. He went there like a real man dealing with a crisis. And how you deal with a crisis? You deal with a crisis with composure and strength. And that's what I saw in Jamaica at the G20. And for that, I'm grateful, because when you have a country and a leader that represents your country well, it no matter if a JLP, PNP or no P, anybody who depend at the world stage there, I represent Jamaica and they're doing a good job. We need to make sure that we, say something and feel good about it. And also, I believe I went at the biannual diaspora conference that's held in Jamaica. I think the next one is coming up. I want to say next year. I'm not so sure. But we in the diaspora, we need to make a concerted effort to support the next biannual conference. The people should understand that the Lakovia police is representing the government. Guys, I heard that the Prime Minister is going to break ground in Westmoreland. I think it's tomorrow. They're going to open a new police station or a new police headquarters. So we have to move on. We still have things to do. We have to pick up where we left off. We have um a manifesto. And although, like the government honestly told the Jamaican people, we may not be able to fulfill every little thing, every single thing, because we were caught off guard with this year disaster. But they have to do as much as they can. And what they cannot do, we understand. My family in Westmoreland, I live in New York City. Okay. The police headquarters, thank you for that, Matthew. I totally forgot about that, I completely forgot about it. And we needed this police headquarters down there. Because, guys, you all remember when the crime was high. Westmoreland Parish was one of the worst of them, After Kingston, then you had Mobile, or St. James, and then Clarendon and Westmoreland. You understand? So, this is good news. And yes, I like the attitude of pressing along and making sure that, we continue as best as possible. It's probably Little London Police Station. It's been under construction for some time. Yes, yes, it is. But guys, come here, come here. Let me tell you what I hear. The Member of Parliament. The Member of Parliament for the constituency. They might try invite him. For come break ground, come stand up with the people them and the community for break ground. But they can't reach him. He doesn't want to be a part of it. I saw them rise as they stay. Them rise there. Them rise there, them don't want nothing good for your country, I first me see this. You don't love your country unless you are in the leadership. How does that make sense? I don't trust those people. Anybody who only love them country when I feel them party in a power or when them in a power, me not trust them as far as me can show them. Somebody's asking why. Well, because that's how this opposition operates. They're running a hate campaign against the government and the country. So anything that is good for the country or anything that makes the country or the government looks good, they don't want to be part of it. That's just how they are. I think they're unpatriotic. I think they're everything that we don't want leading our country. Let's just say that. And that much is clear. Repeat what I said. Okay, Valentina. Come closer. I heard from a credible source that the police headquarters that's going to be open, that is complete. They're trying to reach out to all the people who represent the constituency. The Member of Parliament does not want to be part of it. So don't look for him there. You understand? That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying, you know, it's no surprise because these are not people who want to see anything good happening for our country. And every time they're tested, they fail, right? So that's all. That's all I was saying. Guys, please to hit up the like button and congratulations to our new admin. We have two admins over here now. Two moderators, I'm sorry. Wife Style is our newest moderator. Ian Ailes is the MP. Yes. Thank you, Everton. Good night. Thank you. Them never love it. Yeah, guys. So, you know, a new police headquarters. That's good news for Westmoreland and, of course, good news for Jamaica. We like to hear it. Um, they don't believe in crime going down. Um, these are not people who had the answer, you know, when Jamaica needed answers for decreasing homicides. I shared with you guys that we are at a 30-year low with crime, you know, and it's amazing. It's unfortunate that, you know, we're dealing with what we're dealing with right now in Jamaica, where, you know, we can't really take the time out to really acknowledge and celebrate and them something there. So, you know, I just made sure I mentioned it so other people will know that at this time, last time was November 22nd, when the homicide rate was tallied at 604 so far this year. So that's good. Hello, good night. You're live, but you have to turn down the background because I can hear myself.
Nat,
Yes, good night. You're live.
good night. I
How
want
are
to
you?
talk to you about JPS. I'm living
JPS.
in New York,
Okay.
but I'm from Hanover.
Okay.
And I got a light bill last month
Mm-hmm.
for $12,266.35.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday morning, I get an email from JPS for my light bill. The light bill that I paid last month, it was due the 27th, and I paid it.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday morning, I wake up getting ready for work. I got the email for the light bill. And guess me how much was the light bill?
How much?
37,766
Backside.
$20.21.
So who did the yard?
But remember, I paid the light bill the 27th, and
Oh.
hurricane blew the 28th. No current from that time.
Oh, well, you have to go call them and talk to them about it then.
And they said it due on the 9th of December.
That don't make sense.
That's ridiculous. I
Yeah.
don't know. I always have money in the account because I pay through Jamaica National.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's an
I
error.
have money in the account.
Maybe it's an error and they'll fix it. I wouldn't worry about it too much because that doesn't make sense.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But you know, I can't even call to and get anybody to speak to there.
So why don't you email them?
That's what I plan to do, to email them tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, thank
It's
you.
ridiculous because it last month bill due on the 27th, which I paid.
Somebody say you
And
must
then
report them.
And the 28th was the hurricane. And then they're gonna bill me for 37. Remember the bill triple bill they sent me, you know.
Mm-hmm. Somebody say you must
The
report
last
them.
one I paid was $12,666.35.
Somebody say you
And
must
this one
report
come
them
back
to the
for
OUR.
almost $38,000.
Somebody say you must report them to the OUR.
Okay.
You know who that is?
That's ridiculous, and I don't have no current here from the 28th of last month.
If you go on the
And I
website,
still
there's a
don't
chat.
have no electricity at the house right now.
If you go on their website, there's a chat, and you can also report it to the OUR. Them say must call over nationwide tomorrow. All right. I will do that. I hope you get it sorted out. I'm not working tomorrow. Yes. Let us know. Yeah, by tomorrow to Friday, I'm gonna call. All right. About it. Yes. Because this is ridiculous. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Have a good night. I'm watching you every night when you're on. All right. Thank you. Did you hear Karen? Yes, I did. I heard her. Okay. Yes. Yeah. All right. Guys, for too long, we all know that for too long, JPS has been, boy, I don't even want to talk it because right now, the people them need back their lights and we want JPS to continue doing their job. They're doing a good job right now restoring the people them lights. But that for one next conversation. You know, they always say there's a time and place for everything. But I want to tell you guys about this good news before logging off. Guys, if you're just joining this program and you have not subscribed over here, please to subscribe and hit the like button. Today, the Prime Minister of Jamaica posted this and I want to share it with you. Pick up our friends over there at the PIOJ. But the PIOJ reported that Jamaica's economy grew. Thank you for the super chat, Dexter. Big up yourself, Dexter Baker. Thank you. The PIOJ reported that Jamaica's economy grew by 4.6% in the third quarter of 2025. So yes, he said Jamaica was not doing too bad before this hurricane. It says the Jamaican economy recorded a strong 4.6% growth in the third quarter of 2025, according to the latest quarterly report from the Planning Institute of Jamaica. This period, covering July 1st to September 30th, reflects a notable expansion, particularly given its proximity to the disruptive events that followed. Preceding Hurricane Melissa, the economy was firmly on track to continued expansion, supported by ongoing recovery efforts following the adverse hydrological events of 24-25. That's the financial year 24-25. Growth of 3.1% had already been estimated for the first half of the current fiscal year, with expectations that this momentum would carry through the remainder of the year. However, the extensive dislocation caused by Hurricane Melissa is expected to place significant downward pressure on most industries during the October to December 2025 quarter. As a result, the economy is projected to contract within the range of 11% to 13% for this period. Preliminary projections for financial year 25/26 indicate an overall contraction within the range of 3% to 6%. Despite these challenges, the government remains resolute in its mission to restore productivity, accelerate national recovery, and safeguard the livelihoods of our people. We are committed to building stronger and returning Jamaica to a path of sustainable growth and long-term resilience. One of the things that you have to respect about a government is honesty. And like I said a couple of days ago, it's only someone who don't understand what we're dealing with when it comes on to this disaster and the financial aspect of it and the economical aspect of it. Only a person who doesn't understand couldn't predict that, we would have some issues. But like I said at the beginning of this program, the government of the day gives me the confidence to feel that, they will carry us through and we're going to be okay. Because this government has brought Jamaica through flood, hurricane, pandemic, and they're going to carry us through this category 5 hurricane. So I don't have any worries. All I have is prayers and donation, you know. I donated to support Jamaica on Sunday when they had the telethon. I also donated to another organization before that. And you know, the journey is going to take a while, you know, and so I encourage everybody to donate. If you can't support or donate in other ways, you can always get on your devices and go to supportjamaica.gov.jm. And if you have 120, 110, 150, 100, one couple thousand US dollars, if you're in the diaspora or wherever, go ahead and donate because every little helps, you know. Some people may be on the ground helping, some people them can help other ways. And remember, you have the People's National Party there, the opposition, who are benefiting, taking away, diverting funds from the Jamaican people who have suffered the hurricane. So we don't know what they're doing with those funds. We don't know if they're helping people. You know, we don't know if they plan on helping people because, as you can see, the government of the day allocated or said that they were going to allocate $10 million to these constituencies. First thing PMP come out, come say, this is not enough. And rather than saying, okay, we thank you and we are raise some money too, and we are going to put our money too and help our people, you know. Westmoreland people are our people, for example. They're not saying that. They haven't said anything about the money they're collecting. So I think, you know, it's important that we especially us in the diaspora, go on over to the website at Jamaica, supportjamaica.gov.jm and donate. It's important, you know. Sometimes we get so busy we can't even stop to do stuff like that, but take a minute and do it, guys. It's important. You may not be able to donate everything one time. Maybe you want to donate $1,000, can donate $500 today, and next week you can donate another 500, or another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You can donate another 500. You can do it so too. You don't have to do everything one time. But it's important that we stay connected and stay with the recovery, and each of us play our part. All right, so that is it here tonight, guys. So this doom and gloom, the real topic over here tonight, the real topic is the doom and gloom where the opposition come out with saying, you know, government nah angle the thing right and rare. One thing I'm gonna say, look over Cuba. 1 month, thousands of people still not no water, still not no light, sufferation over there. I mean, see no whole heap of people over there helping them. Them need help over there. No, that has everything to do with political history and, you know, all kind of sanctions and them thing there. Anybody who know the history, them know the history, right? So that is it here tonight, guys. I thank you so much for participating. Without you, there is no JPU. So when you don't know, it's always a pleasure talking to you guys. As I said, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. All of us, all of you in the United States, have a happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys again over the weekend in the War Room, where it gets crazy. If you don't watch the War Room, guys, tune in on Saturdays at 9 p.m. Thank you. Have a good night.